Okay, we'll call this meeting to order. With the record show, Raleigh County Board of Education is a regular session. All board members are present. Entertain a motion to approve the agenda as was submitted to you.
So moved.
We probably moved second. We do have one correction in the minute. I'm sorry, in the agenda. H, if you look at H, it says approve renewal. It should just say approve MOU. And so it's a new agreement. It's not a renewal. Okay. Any problem with that? Larry, you okay with that changing your motion? Okay, hearing none, rejection. All in favor, say by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. We're down to recognitions. We have none. Delegations, somebody signed up? Or we have some?
We do.
Do you? Okay, I was gonna say I don't have it up here. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Okay, we'll start out with Jesse Farley. You have 5 minutes, Z. There he is. Yeah, that's right. It's on.
It's on.
Thank you. Good evening.
Good evening,
Thank you for your time. I appreciate it. My name is Jess Farley. Worked for the Raleigh County Board of Education for 37 years as a teacher, and then another 9 years as a substitute. Retired in 2005 from Woodrow, taught AP American History, and I understand that you guys have a pretty hard job, and I appreciate your time. Let me just say, this, I tell my church, I've always been bivocational. I'm a pastor as well as a teacher. I've been in the ministry over 50 years. I always tell my church it's a pretty sorry frog that won't croak for his own pond. So I've come to croak, okay? I've come to croak. I could go down memory lane, but at 5 minutes, I can't chase rabbits. There's no time for that. But I will tell you that I am a proud graduate of the Mabscott Elementary School. And since those records probably are long gone, I might have graduated summa cum laude. I'm not real sure. Yeah. But not 1862, but 1962, I graduated. And I'm here tonight because of at least one teacher at Mabscott that was tremendous. She didn't know a whole lot about self-esteem, but she knew a whole lot about English. And she taught me, and I appreciate that so very much. I took the liberty of giving you a little booklet that I put together under duress. Mabscott was about to turn 100 in 2006, and I was asked to write something, and so you have it there. But basically, I wanted you to see that picture. Buford Hartzog tells me, or told me, that that was the second building of Mabscott Elementary. There was one previous to that. That's the building that I entered in 1955 in the first grade with Miss Wanamaker. Also to the right of that building was the annex that was built on, which is now the main school, and where the old school sat, the gym is now. And I have uncles, 93 years old, one uncle 93, one uncle 92, proud graduates of Mabscott Elementary. Let me just say this, and I believe this with all my heart. There is a difference, and I know the things I'm saying is not going to be necessarily the things you guys are going to be looking at. But nevertheless, I want to get it off my chest. I think a town school is different than a district school. Mabscott has always been a town school. It's been the town of Mabscott. The kids from Mabscott went to Mabscott School. District schools, they're fine, but there's something about a town school. Like I said, I've got uncles that are in their 90s. They graduated from Mabscott. Mabscott was incorporated in the year of 1906. It was incorporated by the legislature, West Virginia State Legislature, and I'm quite sure that shortly thereafter, or even before, there was a school there. And I have talked to several folks from Sophia when those schools had to move out of the town of Sophia. It made a huge impact on the community. And I think that our school is our heart And though I know that you have to look at the cold figures, I know also that you have a heart for children, or you would not be sitting where you are. And it's them that I want to spend the latter part of whatever time I have left. Mabscott Elementary School is greatly populated by special children, very special children, treasures, gifts from God, wonderful kids. A number of foster children, a great number of foster children attend Mabscott. Many of them have no one to advocate for them. They do beautiful things there. The music teacher every year puts on a musical, a Broadway musical that involves the entire population of the school, some 200 plus kids. They have done, for example, they have done The Lion King, they have done Annie, they have done The Jungle Book, and they have done more. They have closets for these very special children. They have toiletry items for them that need them. Every Friday, the children go home that needs them with boxes of groceries. At Thanksgiving, they go home with boxes of groceries. At Christmas, they go home with boxes of groceries and Christmas gifts. At summertime, they go home with boxes of groceries. They have all of the things that they need. They have 2 counselors that are in constant contact with the children and constantly reviewing their situation and helping them. The school does a fantastic job of reaching these very special children that I'm speaking to you about this evening.
Mr. Farley. Mr. Farley.
Yes.
Time's up.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Okay, Patricia Harvey.
Are you ready? Superintendent Starcher, Board of Education. My name is Dr. Patricia Graham Harvey. Loss of public school enrollment has caused you to explore the closure of Mabscott. Does Raleigh County need to close Mabscott because it is a financial burden? Does our local school system have so little money that we must close it before the state legislature will revise the school aid formula that will end up targeting resources to schools exactly like Mabscott? The elephant in the room is the money. My answer is no, you do not need to close Mabscott because of money deficits. There is no financial crisis in Raleigh County. There is no insolvency. Raleigh County is not going bankrupt. There are no severe overstaffing expenditures as in Harrison County. You have already formed split grade classes using 1 teacher, but you might take that big billboard sign down on Eisenhower Drive that says Raleigh County Schools hiring now for all positions. You have managed the district's budget purposely to the point there is a carryover fund of $6.5 million extra for this coming year. You are not overspending in cost per pupil. You spend close to the state average, less than the national average, and $1,269 lower than a neighboring county that is much poorer. Finding an alternate solution to the technology refresh cost might help the cost per pupil problem that you think. The enrollment numbers for Mabscott have historically been over twice that of your poor neighboring county small school. Yet that school was just given $20,000 for new playground equipment. Raleigh County has an excess levy that brings in $22.8 million per year. That poor neighboring county has no dollars in excess levy, while that neighboring county plans to keep their small school open. Let's talk Mabscott's building and grounds. Mabscott has everything already that you have been spending money on this summer at other schools. Our school also has been perfectly maintained by Mr. Eddy. It is solid, durable, the grounds are beautiful, a top-notch safe haven for students. And if your #1 board member objective is safety, there you go. There is no need for liquidation of Mabscott School as a real estate deal. The parents, guardians, and community who send their children to Mapscott School, plus the town, the residents of Mapscott, are vital investments in Raleigh's future of education. These stakeholders want to remember you use your $56.8 million of local tax revenue in a way that does not drive their families away without destroying the town's identity, without disrupting the tax-paying citizens' lives of Mapscott and Mapscott Schools family. Raleigh County is one of the wealthiest districts around, with a proposed budget of $221.3 million. I'm thinking Mapscott School is only half of 1% of your budget. 4 years of studies, enough to fill a library, find that school consolidation does not result in long-term school operating cost savings, but it creates and perpetuates the very problems it was meant to solve. I don't pretend to have the educated knowledge that you have, but I do know a few things. A financial efficiency analysis is a prediction, educated guesses, a trend of what will happen in the future. It is a temporary guess, but closing a school is forever. It's permanent. I'll tell you what is not in that financial efficacy analysis. To close a school with a separate gym with $600,000 air conditioning unit, a separate music room, a separate cafeteria, $15,000 security camera, plus many other cameras, extra parking spaces, walking trail, fenced-in playground, separate pre-K playground, multiple rooms, multiple bathrooms, updated flooring, heat and air conditioning units in each classroom. The state will not tell you to transfer our principal, Dr. Weiss, the highest educated, the most experienced, from the place that she is most needed, here in this place called Mapscott. She is the diamond in the rough. The real question should be, does Raleigh County School District love your public school enough to keep Mapscott open? Thank you.
Thank you. Virginia Kincaid. Virginia Kincaid. Yeah. Okay.
Hello, my name is Virginia Kincaid. How are y'all doing? I'm a para at Mapscott. I didn't write nothing. I always figure it's best to shoot from the heart. I have been at Mapscott for going on, let's see, this will be my 4th year. Let me tell you something about my kids. You've heard about what we do. Yes, we do the clothes closets and all that. But I think you need to know about our kids. When you have a kid comes back from Christmas vacation and about knocks you down when you're doing hall duty and it's just hugging you and telling you, I missed your hugs. You have a student that you've had in school suspension come to you the last day of school and thanking you for not giving up on them. That's what we do at Mapscott. We have a fabulous head cook back there. She makes sure every day what kid has a birthday, and she makes sure our cafeteria sings happy birthday to that kid. It might be the only time they hear it. I know we have to look at the money, but sometimes money is not always the right thing. Our school is mostly home. That is the one true home these students have. They have love. And sometimes our school is the only place they get it. There is not a kid that comes in my room or out of my room that I do not tell them I love them and I hug them. I want them to have a good day. I have, with Dr. Weiss's permission, a worried box. Some of my kids come in, you can already tell. I've had some whose parents has been arrested, been taken off. And they'll come tell me. I'll tell them, tell it to the butterfly. We have butterflies on my desk. and put it in the box. The butterfly will hold your worries for the day. And it works. Can you tell me these other schools that you want to send my children to will worry about them like we do at Mapscott? I don't think so. I really don't. We know what our kids' problems are. They have finally came to trust us. When you have a student that comes from another school in this district that cannot read, there's something wrong. They learned to read in my class. And when they read their first story, the look on their face, this is what we do at Mapscott. We encourage. I'm trying not to get emotional here. These children need this school. They are going to fall through the cracks. Let's just face it. They're not going to be wearing the right clothes or have the right sneakers. At Mapscott, we don't care about that. We care about our kids. Our kids, and I do mean our kids. I love every one of those kids. They're my babies. They all call me Miss Jenny. They know if I had my coffee when I ate. Or if I hit my jelly beans, they go, uh-oh, Miss Jenny's hitting her jelly beans. Let's calm down. That's the type of relationship we have with our students at Mapscott. I just ask you, before you look at the numbers, which I know you have to, but remember, this is a lot of those kids' home, the only home they feel protected at. And I hear we've all heard it takes a village. Well, Mapscott Elementary is that village for that school. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay, Jonathan Cruz.
Good evening, President Snuffer, members of the board. You weren't here at the last meeting, but my name's Jonathan Cruz, lifelong, well, everybody that lives in Raleigh County knows who I am. I'm here again tonight because more than 3 months ago, 3 months have now passed since May the 5th, when some employees were instructed not to purchase from School Bus Solutions, one of my small businesses here in Raleigh County, until an alleged issue was resolved. 3 months later, I still have never been formally informed what the issue actually is. Since May, I've repeatedly tried to resolve this professionally. I've sent emails, requested meetings, asked for documentation, contacted members of this board, tried to get a meeting with the superintendent, and my questions remain simply have been, what is being reviewed? What did School Bus Solutions allegedly do wrong? What policy supports this restriction? How can we work together, and when will it be resolved? Earlier today, this afternoon actually, I finally received a response directly from Superintendent Starcher. Her response was, and I quote, "The review remains active. No additional information is available at this time." Respectfully, after more than 3 months, I find that level of communication unacceptable. A decision was made that directly affected my company and its ability to do business with Raleigh County Schools. Yet despite my repeated attempts to get answers, I still have not been formally told what the alleged issue, even if there is one. My company has been restricted for more than 3 months, and I cannot stand here tonight and tell this board what I supposedly have done wrong or what we've done wrong because no one's told me. And I cannot correct an issue because no one will tell me what the issue is. I cannot resolve something that this administration will not explain to me. And at some point, the lack of communication becomes part of the problem itself. I'm not asking for special treatment, and I'm not asking anyone to overlook any policy, and I'm not asking Raleigh County Schools to purchase anything from my company. I'm asking for the same fair opportunity to compete that any other vendor should have. And if School Bus Solutions did something wrong, tell me what we did. And also, if this is some kind of ethics issue, the West Virginia Ethics Board has met 3 times now since May the 5th, and this email was sent out, and they have nothing on their agenda concerning the matter of Raleigh County Schools or myself. Also, can't ignore the irony of standing here tonight while everyone's wearing their I Love Raleigh County Public Schools, which Raleigh County is a great county to live in, and I'm a product of Raleigh County schools. But, you know, the shirts were produced by a business owned by the husband of a Raleigh County school employee, and I fully support that business. But there lies the inconsistency. If one employee-connected business can be promoted and supported by this superintendent, then that clearly shows the reason for a clear explanation for the reason why my business was singled out, restricted, and left with no answers. But and that's just the top. That isn't even the whole cake. That's just the icing. But if after more than 3 months there have been no findings of wrongdoing, no identified policy violations, and no stated basis for continuing this restriction, then I believe this board should be asking the same question I am. Why is School Bus Solutions and myself still being singled out? School Bus Solutions has spent years serving school system, businesses, and communities across West Virginia, and I'd much rather spend my time working with Raleigh County schools than continuing to stand before this board and asking the same unanswered questions. 3 months of under review without telling the affected business what is actually under review is not a resolution. I've made every reasonable effort to communicate, cooperate, and resolve this professionally. After more than 3 months, I believe I've been more than patient. I'm simply asking for answers. If there is an issue, tell me what it is and give me the opportunity to address it. And if there isn't, then this restriction should not continue. So again, tonight, I'm asking this board to help bring this matter to a fair and transparent conclusion because this has gone on long enough. And School Bus Solutions, we remain ready to serve this community, support our schools, and continue to do what we always have tried to do, and that's to provide solutions, work together, and put the education and safety of our kids first. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank everyone for their comments tonight. We'll go on now. The next item is board reports. Dr. Hudson.
Well, I haven't done much. I've talked with several principals that are getting ready to start school, and they're all kind of eager for the year, but also kind of leery too, just of changes and not knowing what's going to happen and all the unknown out there. But they're all eagerly looking forward to their students returning and having a good year.
Ms. Smith.
Like Dr. Hutchins, I've talked to several principals and they are excited, but they do have some apprehensions. I visited Trap Hill yesterday and the new flooring in the office area is wonderful. Be much easier kept clean and sanitized, and it's needed done for a long time. So I was happy to see that taking place over the summer.
They said there was a worn out path there where someone used to walk all the time. I don't know who it was.
I wouldn't know who that was pacing the office floor.
Mr. Ford.
I don't have anything.
Mr. Cantley. Everything? Only thing I have is I want to thank Mr. Ford and the rest of the board members. I had a little medical situation last board meeting. I couldn't be here. I did get on a little bit of the live stream late, but I know it was a big meeting and they did a great job hearing concerns and everything else. And it's just good to be back with the board and out of the hospital. After 9 days in ICU, you get a little tired of that. So it's good to be back and on this side of the earth still yet. So that's good. I did get to go down to Liberty a couple times and stuff, and I tell you, the work they've done down there in the gym, on the grounds and everything else, it just looks really good. I mean, I thank maintenance. I think everybody's been involved in that. It's awesome, and they're all busy. All the schools are busy with sports and stuff. I had a lot of people thank me and say how much they like the track at Independence, what a difference it made in the appearance of that school over there, how much it looks improved. So, you know, I think we'll have a report maybe next board meeting from our physical facilities and stuff. But people think summer is time to relax. Well, it's not for maintenance and for our construction. That's when they hit the second gear and they really put it to it. And they don't have a lot of time to get stuff done, but they do an excellent job.
Mr. President.
Yes.
I did recall one thing I wanted to get
Go
on the
ahead.
record.
Go ahead.
Apologize for that. I did recall one thing I wanted to get on the record. When you think about finances for Raleigh County, I want to encourage everybody that might be listening and the folks in the room to go to our website, go to yesterday's work session, and the first probably not even 30 minutes of that work session we had a really transparent and open discussion about our finances, and it really paints what seems to me to be an accurate picture of our circumstances, of which we are all in together. So I want to encourage people to look at that.
Okay, thank you. The last thing is, we are all wearing these T-shirts up here today. I think it's self-explanatory that we support public schools, and public schools are under attack in West Virginia. I don't care if someone's out there, but we are, and we're trying to do the best we can with what's ahead of us. But we appreciate Raleigh County, we appreciate Raleigh County Public Schools, and we appreciate everyone that makes up Raleigh County Schools. It's really not this board. It's the teachers, it's the support staff, it's administrators, it's the maintenance, it's everybody. That is Raleigh County Schools. And at the end of the day, the real Raleigh County Schools is the students. And I tell a story one time, I said, make a little thing, that I've seen the future. And somebody said, where do you see the future? I said, I see it every time I look in a child's eyes. I see the future. I see the future looks bright and it's promising. Now we just have to cultivate that. So I think Raleigh County Schools are a lot to be proud of, and I'm proud to be part of that. Dr. Starcher.
Thank you, Mr. Snuffer. I have just a few things. First, I would remind everyone that our back to school fair is this Friday from 9 to 2 at the Beckley-Raleigh County Convention Center. Mr. Dillon has prepared another wonderful fair for all of our students. We have school supplies, underwear, and socks for students while supplies last. But we do have a fair number of sizes, and I want to thank him for all the work he's done in preparing that. I'm sure he'll provide a report to you in the future. We'll be at the Honey Festival this Saturday from 10 to 4. We have pencils and the bee antenna that students like, plus we'll be giving away books. Students can come and pick books of their liking. So we encourage people to come out to that. The last thing I have, we had meetings last week with ZMM regarding the Woodrow project. We had meetings were Tuesday and Thursday. I believe the design is truly nearing completion, and Mr. Ferguson has indicated he believes he could either come on the August 25th or September 8th board meeting to provide the board with an update. He's trying to develop, I guess you would call it like a virtual walkthrough, so he could show you the facility, but they're still working on that. But expect that within the next 2 weeks to 1 month before we got the bid. Anyone have any questions?
Thank you, Superintendent. Okay. Next item is Raleigh County walkthrough form with Tamara Hodges.
Hello. Let me share my screen. I believe, good afternoon or evening, President Snuffer, Superintendent Dr. Starcher, fellow board members. This evening, I know that you've been provided a copy of this walkthrough, and I also made sure this afternoon, I believe, to provide you with another explanation sheet. But I wanted to just take a few moments to talk about an initiative that we're really encouraging our principals to use this year. For years and years, we've used walkthroughs. There's someone sitting up there now that can attest to how, certain teachers can get a little spicy about a not so positive walkthrough.
The only thing was missing, I missed your essential question. Now get over it.
I think that was back in like 2009. I'm still mad about it. But walkthroughs to me are, as a teacher, they were extremely important. I wanted someone to come in my classroom. I wanted them to see what I was doing. I wanted them to see what the kids were doing. I wanted them to see how much my kids were learning. As an administrator, I loved them. It gave me just multiple options and opportunities to go into classrooms to talk about and look at what was going on, talk to the kids about what their lesson was about. So we put together a universal walkthrough that we're asking our principals to use this year. Some of our schools purchase programs, and I think it's called like eWalk, and it's a digital version. And we told them, you know, if they want to make this a digital piece that they use, you know, that's perfectly fine. If they like paper and pencil, that's fine as well. But we have asked that they follow this this template, just to kind of go through it just for a quick second. Some of the items that we focused on were, you know, the 4 areas. We wanted to look at, you know, when you walk in a classroom, what are the students doing? What is the teacher doing? What's the lesson like? And what is the classroom like? So if you're looking at students, first thing you're going to notice is what DOK they're working on, what depth of knowledge. A couple, you know, of course, you know, we've worked on DOKs for years and years, but we also wanted to add that those 2 options of, you know, can a student explain the lesson? My favorite part is when I sit down and I talk to a student, I'm like, what are y'all talking about today? What's this, you know, what's going on? Students will be really quick to say, well, I don't know. We never know what we're doing in here. Or they'll be very quick to say, oh, we've been working on this really cool project, and they can, you know, explain it in detail. We also added that, you know, the students are following and are aware of their classroom procedures. You know, you can look in just for a few seconds and see that if students are doing what they're expected to do in that classroom. We did list computer task and ask that they list the program, just so that, you know, sometimes we have principals speak to that, you know, they may have a classroom in particular that wants to be on a device too much. You know, this is a good way to note that, you know, is it a program that we're asking that they use in their classroom, or is it something else? So we really did try to look at a lot of specifics when looking at students. When looking at teachers, the first 8 boxes that you'll see there, the expectations, cueing, attention prompts, signals, tasking, voice control, proximity, time limits, those are all the top 8. I'm going to change here for just a second if I can find it. Now it's gone. Where did it go? When I put this in, there we go. Those were, I'm sure you'll remember, our school staff had many days of training at the end of the school year last year. And so 2 of those days, I should say, one day we were present, school staff, including myself. It was kind of like a train the trainer type of session where Carnegie came in and discussed with us and talked about high yield strategies. In those training days, we learned all of these 8 topics that are, you know, I mean, typical classroom management strategies. The school staff that attended the training that day went back to their staff as a whole and then presented that information. So the principals, the main group, kind of like their leadership team, they trained their teachers so that they are all expecting to see this and follow this next year. So this is not something new. This is what we talked about, you know, at the end of last year and have continued to work with. I know a lot of my schools in their professional learning days at the end of the year spent a lot of time in how they were going to incorporate those high yield strategies. So those are those top 8 things. We did include consistency. It's obvious, you know, when you're in a classroom, if there's not consistency, whether it's in, you know, procedures, the way that we are responding to students, addressing issues, those types of things. It could be a little bit of anything. We did feel that it was extremely important to include this effective use of support staff. We did list, you know, this is of course for all grades, whether they have an ECAT, whether it's an inclusion class, whether it's a title class, are the 2 adults working in that classroom effectively and working together. You know, at this point, it's the time to stop and say, okay, is the teacher using them appropriately? Is the support staff not doing the part that they should be? So it can kind of lead into that, but it is definitely looking to see if there is more than one teacher in that room, are they all working together to get the job done? For the lesson, you know, just the good old standard, bell to bell? Is there a beginning, middle, and end? Are they teaching grade level standards? Is the pacing appropriate? Are they providing, small group, whole group? All of those things can be, observed very quickly. You're not going to see bell to bell and every time you go in a walk through, but if you are in a classroom when class changes and the class starts and the teacher's still in the hallway talking and trying to wrestle kids in from the hallway, are we really using bell to bell? So all of those things, they may not be, something you witness every time you're in a classroom for a walkthrough, but you'll see parts of those. Most importantly, there at the bottom, classroom, when you went to the classroom, was the door locked? That is the expectation, and that's going to be marked. Are they implementing their PBIS? Is their classroom conducive to learning? And are their transitions effective? The notes for reflection are my favorite part because that's, a great time to leave a little positive. Sometimes you just pop in and see like stuff you didn't know that teacher did. And as an administrator, that was the piece I loved the most. I got to see the teachers and the students do things that I honestly didn't know they were doing that cool of stuff. So we're really excited about this. Like I said, they are able to use it on whatever platform they choose, whether it be digital, paper, or pencil. But we're excited about this. Any questions?
Any questions?
So, go ahead, Ron.
I'm so excited. I can't stand it. I want to go on the record and saying this is so smoking hot good. Makes me want to go back and be principal again. But not enough to really do it.
Okay.
But if you don't monitor your training, don't train.
Mm-hmm.
So
Correct.
when you relate your walkthrough to high yield strategies, that's outstanding. Well done, Raleigh County. When you think about student needs, I think about safety and supervision, number one, cognitive needs, what you teach and how you teach it, and then affective, emotional well-being. You've got all three components in here. You got all three components in here. And
I agree with that. I know the format that I used all those years ago, it didn't have all of these components. And I do feel, I think it was when I just made up because we just kind of had used a couple of different ones and I pulled what I wanted from this one and pulled what I wanted from that one. But I feel like there's a few pieces to this one. It just puts the whole puzzle together, and we're really excited about it.
And no form or policy is going to be a guarantor of excellence. I understand that. But you got to have a firm foundation in your policies and your strategies, and this is a firm foundation in my opinion. Well done.
Thank you.
So is this supposed to take 5 to 7 minutes?
Correct. It's a quick in and out, 5 minutes. Part of the reason we put what we did on here was just to remind principals what to be looking for when they do go in classrooms. We do still have a lot of very new principals. My first year as a principal, I wouldn't have known to look for all of these things. So to put this out there and be like, this is what we need to be looking for. This is what we need to be aware of that's going on in classrooms. But it is the quick 5, 6, 7 minutes in and out. You can hit several classrooms a day. But it's also kind of a reminder of just, a walkthrough is a walkthrough. It is looking for instruction. It's looking for student engagement. It's looking for all those things. It's not just stopping by the room in the morning saying, hello, have a great day, see you at lunch or see you at the end of the day when you're getting on the bus. So this is a reminder. This is exactly what we need to be looking for.
Oh, I agree totally. Now, I do think you ought to have me essential question on it.
I wonder if
Always had her essential question on the board.
it was on the board that day too.
And I just missed it. But she brought it to my attention
I
very
did,
quickly.
and I wanted her to fix it, and she wouldn't change it.
But I think this is good. I like this. And I always like doing the walkthroughs because it puts you in every teacher's classroom, not just the teachers who are being evaluated.
Correct.
And it made you aware of what was going on in your school. I was one of those principals who did them religiously.
Same.
as you well know.
Oh, I know.
One more thing I want to get on the record too. You know, Betty Hartzog, her husband just passed away. Yeah, it's your family. But she used to say it's hard to act in a way that you never see anybody act. And, you know, we have a lot of new people, a lot of people that are new to the system. They don't have a rich heritage and tradition that I grew up with. You know, I was talking about school when I was 12 years old, just like you were. You know, it was the family business. And seeing Jess here tonight, I just got to do this, Jess. I can remember in 1982 at Stratton, Mr. Redden would tell me who to go look at and watch them teach, see what they're doing. And that man right there was somebody that was role model. It's I wanted to point that out to you.
Any other questions? Hearing none, thank you very much.
Thank you.
We'll go down now to policies and procedures. First policy procedure is the grading system, D.3.29. These have completed 30-day comment and are for adoption. I would say we all probably got an email on the grading system today. Made some really good points, I thought. I guess looking at the thing, what's the superintendent? Did you get that email also?
I believe I received the same one
Ms.
about,
Meadows?
yes, okay.
Yeah.
About the numerical grade for
Right.
elementary. That was the question. And I mean, that was it was a longer email. but
Yeah,
that was the
great.
crux of
Well,
the
she came
email.
before the board before
had.
about that, and I guess my question is, what prevents us from doing that, or is there something that I'm missing?
Yes, our policy says we can do one or both. I believe it is still a Schoology issue. Miss Polly is,
I think she indicated in the email that it was
yes,
computer.
yes.
Yeah.
The Schoology won't let them do
Schoology
them?
piece.
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's sad.
The
that we let-
policy
let
doesn't
that
prevent it.
dictate-
It's the
that-
program that prevents
It's
it.
sad that we let that dictate our policy. Maybe we need to look at something else around that or something we can. But I mean, I thought there was very good points on that were made. Any other comments on that?
When I think about communication between a teacher and a parent, there's nothing that restricts that communication from occurring to make sure that you tell your parents what numerical grade corresponds to the A, B, C, D,
Yeah.
et cetera. So I want to encourage staff to communicate what you think needs to be communicated to accurately portray how the student's doing.
Well, the thing of it is, there is a big difference between a child has 100 and a child, and then a child that has a 81. He said, "Oh, I made a B, I made an A." There's 20 points difference there, almost. So it's a lot of difference in the scale. Than a kid who made an 89 and a kid who made a 91. It's little tweaks like that sometimes parents don't see that. If you just look at that and don't understand, that one child, he may have just busted his butt to get from up to that 89. Didn't quite get an A, but he got, we used to give B pluses and stuff like that. And I'm sure the old day B minuses and stuff. But excuse me, I can't hear.
At the end of the year, everything is still transcribed as a letter grade. And so for high school, they have to have those letter grades.
Right.
When we did do the numerical, we was completely up with all their college transcripts, promise scholarship. It messed all it up, and there's no other programs out there with this.
Do that. Okay. Anything then? And we print those grade cards from Schoology, right? Or Weavis? How we print those?
From Weavis, but we send grades from Schoology 2 weeks.
Okay. And there's no. Okay. All right. Superintendent, what's your recommendation?
My recommendation is policy D.3.29 and D.3.30 be approved as presented. Other than the comment that Mr. Snuffer spoke of, we received no additional comments.
Okay, you heard superintendent's recommendation. We'll go ahead and do them as a pair. If no objection, then we have D.3.29 and D.3.30. I entertain a motion to approve those two policies.
So moved.
Second, to have a second?
Second.
Been properly moved second. Any more discussion? Hearing none, proceed to vote. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carried 5-0. Okay, we're down to consent items. Remember the one item H, we did, it's approval of the MOU with Mercy and Grace Consulting. It's not a renewal. The rest of those are renewals. Is there anything on there that you want to be taken off to discuss separately?
I have a question on payment of bills.
Okay,
Okay, and I have a question on, I guess it's D and E.
okay, we got B, approval bills, and what's your, Charlotte?
D,
E,
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 D and E.
D and E, okay? Okay, we're gonna remove B, D, and E. We'll go ahead, the first one will be, B. What's your question on that?
I know we've questioned it previously, but the bill to Bowles Rice is $76,000. It's just outrageous to me.
What period, does that cover? Do you know, Dr. Strasser?
I don't know specifically, but if you give me a moment, today I approved July. That should be May and June.
May and June?
Yes.
So that does include,
It's multiple months. I know, I'm confident it's multiple months that would be together. And
There were
it
two.
should be May and June.
There were two different amounts listed on the payment. I can't remember exactly what they were, so I'm assuming it was 2 months total
right,
because there was one amount and then under it there was another.
I
Yes.
thought it totaled like
But it did
76,000.
total that
Yeah.
much. You're right. The
Do
two
we,
together totaled that much.
board members, I just had a question, Superintendent. Do we get an itemized statement on that, of what their bills on?
We do. I receive an itemized statement. That's how I know this has to be May and June. I just signed off on July yesterday. But May and, well,
Yeah. right.
any monthly invoice that comes at the beginning of the month for the previous month. And it is identified by if it's a grievance and the name, if it's employee discipline and the name. It's very case specific in the invoice.
Could we have a copy of that? Is that
I was gonna say,
legal?
yeah, that should be available to us, but,
I think it would have to be
redacted.
because if I
With
give it
names.
to you, it's a public document at that point, and I can't, because of the names
Right.
and the
You'd have to take the
associated.
names.
I would have to redact names,
That's
but
all.
that's not a problem if you would like to have that moving
or just say,
forward.
or just say this was hearing date, thing, well, we can look at that and maybe,
I
give-
could if
give
you
Mr.
would,
Butcher, we're working right now on a report, Mr. Butcher, okay?
Right.
So we'll look at that, what we need specifically, if we want more item or more specifics in that area, okay?
So
When we work with him.
When you guys
we
work
could
with
do
him,
that
just,
in.
that's something to think about, how be more accountability. So when I look at a bill, whatever it may be, for $100,000, and it says Rick Snuffer, I know that wasn't my new tractor, it was actually a triple went on.
Okay.
Okay, so, so whatever it goes there, you'll know it.
We can work
Yeah,
it.
okay,
We'll work that in.
all right. Okay, that took care of that one. And, Dr. Hudson, you had, MOU with Raleigh County Sheriff's Department?
Yeah, mine was
And the
just a
city
real
department.
simple thing here. Let me find it. I noticed, I'll do this, try to do this from memory. I noticed on the city of Beckley, and it looked like the mayor had struck through something and marked that out, and and it had to do with the grant. Thank you, Marcia. Had to do with the grant for the funding. Why was
he-
that taken out?
My understanding is that grant is no longer received by the Beckley, city of Beckley. But if you look at the grant, it's still, the MOU, it says they will provide 3 officers, and we're still paying on the, it's in here, we still pay $50,000, the top of page 3.
Yeah.
That we would still pay $50,000 per resource officer, not to exceed 150,000.
Yeah, so the 150 is for the 3 officers.
Correct. That would cover the Woodrow Wilson High School, Beckley, Stratton, and Park.
Okay, but with this taken out, we did have 4 from the city of Beckley?
I don't believe so. I'm not, since
Or
I've,
one of the 3 was, And I know that used to be a grant that you had to apply for
Was.
every year. Is the grant no longer available? Did we not apply for it? I mean,
I don't believe it was our grant. Mr. Dillon might remember the history. Mr. Stafford may know about it specifically now.
What do you guys
who
want to
applied
comment
for it?
on
Did the
that?
school apply for it or? Okay.
Officer Wall, as a representative of the police department, he always applied for that, and it's no longer available.
It's just they don't do it anymore.
They don't do it anymore. They don't make it available to the police agencies.
But through the sheriff's department, we get four,
And that's
Okay.
in the MOU. Again, we pay
$150,000
$50,000
per.
We pay for
and let me get
one from the sheriff's department.
There's, I think that 150's in there, not to
Not to
exceed
exceed.
150.
correct. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
I was just, when I saw that, I thought, okay, why is that taken out? And why are they not doing that anymore? And,
It's just the
That's-
funding source is not no longer available. Yeah.
okay, thank you.
Yeah. But we still have a total of, well, be 7, is that correct? Or 8?
Seven.
How many pro officers we have? 7?
We have,
One, two, three, four.
3 on behalf of the city of Beckley. We have 3 on behalf of the city of Beckley, and then we have a sheriff deputy, Mr. Tony McLaughlin at Liberty. We have a representative for Shady and their feeder system, and then for Independence and their feeder system.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Yes, sir.
6, yeah, 6 of them, yeah.
Mr. President, I have one question too when you get.
Mr. County has another question?
I apologize for not keeping up. I guess my newness to this is showing. Going back to the legal bill, I want to endorse the concept of an itemized deep dive into that legal bill. And that doesn't necessarily portray a weakness. It could, in fact, actually be a great strength for the system. But anytime we are experiencing a loss, or we want to try to do something good, we look at data. We look at our inputs that generate a result. So if we have these bills, it's only common sense. We need to look at the data, what caused it, what, if any, are controllable or influenceable factors that we can take to not have that expense. And that's just common sense. And I want to endorse that in some form or fashion to the board and go on record saying that let's look at some methodology
That's on
for
your
a deep
Charlotte
dive.
plate now. That's your,
Why?
yeah.
Oh, I signed up for it. I'm anxious to do it.
Do it. Okay.
I'm anxious to do it.
And I apologize. I should have went, the way this should have worked was, we need to have a motion now to approve the payment of the bills. Okay? Do I have a motion to move the payment of bills after our discussion?
So moved.
Second.
Been probably moved second. Need more discussion. Hearing none, proceed to vote. All in favor, signify by saying aye. All
Aye.
opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Now we're down to D, approval of the MOU, renewal of the MOU with Raleigh County Sheriff's Department for 26-27. Do I have a motion? Have a second? Properly moved and seconded. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Next one is E, approval of the MOU with City of Beckley Police Department 26-27. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Have a second?
Second.
Been properly moved second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Okay, now we're down to our consent items. All in favor of the consent items that are left, I need a motion.
So moved.
So
Second.
moved. Do I have a second? Probably moved second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carried 5-0. All right, we got through there. Apologize for not doing this as we discussed them. New business, consider approval of the MOU between Raleigh County Schools and SCS on school bus training and examination services 26-27. Let's start there. Chris on that. or-
Board members, this is I'll call it more like a standard annual agreement that we have with the SCSC for the for the bus operator training and examination services. This is nothing out of the ordinary. I'd recommend it be approved as presented.
It's something we've been doing,
Yes.
correct? Okay, you've heard the superintendent's recommendation and explanation. Do I have a motion to approve this?
So moved.
Been
Second.
moved. Do I have a second?
Second.
Been properly moved second. Any more discussion? Hearing none, proceed to vote. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All
Aye.
opposed? Motion carries. Okay. Consider approval of the Gear Up graduate contract with Concord University, Raleigh County Schools. And here she is.
Good evening again. I believe you have a copy of the subaward for, we are now in year 5. The total, I believe, is $230,000, and we have lots of things planned for that money this year.
Give us an example of some things that we do with that.
Part of course, that is paying the coordinator salary. We have several events planned in our work plan. We have for each high school, Ms. Stover has scheduled kind of like a back to school kind of fair for each high school individually. And she's also going to be giving out some school supplies at each high school. Those have been ordered. I don't know if they've been delivered yet, but I know that that some of our principals have been receiving those pink copies already. Gear Up is also this year going to be paying for the PSAT for 10th and 11th graders. So the funding for them to take the benchmark in the fall and spring for 10th grade and the fall for 11th grade. We have several college tour type activities scheduled. We're also incorporating this year at each school providing approval from Ms. Lamonco. I submitted 4 positions today to be funded out of Gear Up for each school to have a person who has applied to want to be part of Gear Up and would receive a $500 stipend per semester. Like I said, that is per the Gear Up grant, and those staff members that we work with at Concord felt that it would be very beneficial to make sure that we have somebody that is at each school very focused and wanting to make sure that the communication between Ms. Stover and the school administrators and all of the staff at the school is very vested in wanting to make sure that happens. Also, we've got several family engagement nights scheduled. A lot of fun little things.
Any other questions? Discussion? Go ahead, Ron.
I want to be sure to go on the record with this regarding Gear Up. One of the things that makes public education attractive is that we help people that may not have opportunities change their lives. And these people don't necessarily have a voice of advocacy. There's William back there. I know his family came from wine and golf. And we in public education help people that come from hills and hollers and may not necessarily have the exposure to the opportunities that are in front of them, and we help them get them. Correct. And it's really important that we make sure the public knows and people know that we're in the business of helping people that may not have opportunity. And I just want to again say well done.
That's like some Cantleys down on Patriot Bottom, maybe helping them out a little bit, bring them years ago, right?
For snuffers from Trap Hill District.
That's right. Come off the farm, off the pig farm, buddy. That's for sure. And honestly, if it wouldn't been for public schools, I wouldn't be where I am today. No, there's no question about it. And I don't say this, but it's public schools, but it's teachers who cared enough to challenge me to do more. Okay. I was skating through. And then they said,
I'm not surprised.
Not good enough. And that teachers who challenge you and kind of call you accountable is what makes you a better person and challenge yourself to go forward.
One of the items that I wanted to mention that Ms. Stover is working on this year, she's kind of mirroring the Superintendent's Advisory Council, and she's creating like a Gear Up Council. And we're going to meet with students and get their perspective on what is it, where is it you want to go visit? What career path do you want to explore more, just in a more intimate setting, so that she's not just trying to talk to a bunch of classes at one time. So we have several good activities planned for this year.
That's a good deal. Thank you. Any other? If not, we'll look at that, proceed to vote then. We need approval. I need a motion to approve the Gear Up grant, for, this year, 26, 27.
So moved.
So moved. Have a second.
Second.
Any more discussion? Hearing none, proceed to vote. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. We're down to personnel, superintendent, or I think we have some corrections, I see.
Good evening, everyone. If you turn to page 3, we have,
It's a green copy, correct?
yes,
Okay.
we are back down to only 1 year of recos
That's
now.
right.
So, yes. We, in the section B, recommended for appointment, if you will see, we need to make a last name change. Melina Belcher should be reflected as security entrance monitor. And then further down the list, you'll see John Quesenberry is actually Robert J. Quesenberry.
Who knew, huh?
I know, who knew? And then if you will turn over to page 6, under the custodian section recommended for transfer, Russell Hogue should be removed.
Okay, superintendent.
My recommendation is as presented with the corrections noted by Ms. Samanko.
Do I have a motion to approve superintendent recommendation for personnel for 26, 27 with the corrections that were noted?
So moved.
So moved. Do I have a second?
Second.
Been properly moved and second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All approved. Motion carries 5-0. That concludes our agenda tonight. We thank everyone for coming. Have a safe night.